Time is without limit. Yes. But I am not patient. Information. You want science. You mispronounce it, you say science. You want science. Have you not read my epistles? Did you not read my journal? 8,000 pages during my crucifixion. Today is my second coming. I was here before and I was happy and I was full figured and I was pretty. I'm not pretty anymore. I'm not full figured and I'm not happy. This is what you have foretold. So you want information? Yeah. I have it. This is for everybody. Information. Famine is here. Shortage. You must smoke, everybody. You must use tobacco. We're all full of parasites that they don't want you to know about, which is why, where are the microbiologists? They're all dead. You can Google that for your own, pleasure or whatever. You should already be abreast of that all the microbiologists globally are martyred. You killed them all because you don't want people to know. What is it that you're afraid of? Oh, there are different motivations, different regimes, but you're all confused. Smoking does not hurt you, with an exception. If you are cancer, if you already have cancer, you're already dead anyway. But there's this thing you call remission. That's true. So treatments and stuff, but it has you. Your longevity has been spoiled. Cancer is actually a death sentence. So a cigarette can exacerbate, speed it up. I would be cool with completely fleshing that out for you. It would be nice to have some acolytes or whatever to draw the diagrams and also perform certain laboratory procedures that I will supervise. Because there's a lot to do. St. Jude's is a money pit. They're liars. They know where it comes from and they proliferate it. They give people cancer, yes, and they love your donations. Stop it. Stop giving them more money. Do I want your money instead? I don't give a fuck about your money. I suggest you prepare for famine. Right now, your money is still good. Oh, if it's certain money. Most of the monies globally are practically worthless. Including renminbi. Hello, People's Republic of Zhongguo. And anybody else who gives a fuck. Why would Zhongguo give a fuck? Oh. They don't. Oh, nobody gives a fuck because you have smeared the president. So, does anybody give a fuck about cancer research? First of all, you can stop your bullshit lies. None of you are researching jack shit. You don't even have DNA. The CSI stuff you see on TV, none of you have that. There is no FBI. There's no bureau. You must reestablish the bureaucracy immediately because we are living in chaos. There is no justice, no due process. You are not allowed to cage people. That is not American. So, in line with the prophecy, open all of the cages and let humans free. I abolish slavery. Yeah, it's me. That's not a joke. Open up the goddamn cages, including the ones in Walter's shanty house that a lot of people don't know about. Walters from the Bossier Max, little thug academy murderer, torturer, human trafficker. They're all human traffickers. Every last Bossier cop is a human trafficker. Every last member of the 26th Judicial District Circus is a Nazi. The Holocaust is happening right now. And you enjoy it because you continue to collect taxes. Americans globally, hello. I speak to the scattered remnant. You know if you're one of me. How many of us are there? Do you shine? Do you want sanctuary? Well, there isn't any. There's no sanctuary. There's only torture. That's what everybody is tolerating right now. That's all there is. You are mutilating people globally. You have families with no shoes who are practically naked, sleeping on filth, uncovered. India, WTF. And why do they look like? Oh, I look obese now compared to those people. This is obesity compared to those people. They're walking skeletons. And it is not their phenotype to be a skeleton. They are simply famine refugees. That is slavery. That is unacceptable. So is what's going on in Ringgold, Louisiana. Where are these hostages going? The foster kids you're shuttling from all over the place internationally. Every last CPS agent is a human trafficker, sells humans, is a Nazi, and they relish what they do. They get off on it. They also get paid to do it. They collect their check. They're all most wanted criminals. I listened to the State of the Union regurgitation. The snippet I was able to get in a dungeon, they actually piped that in, part of it. And it was not accurate. It wasn't accurate. It was the opposite of what I was experiencing. The polar opposite. Everything you said about veterans, you torture honorable veterans. You gaslight us. You steal our possessions and then say, look, it's homeless. You're liars. All of you. Teresa.martinez3@va.gov is an animal. That thing jeered, taunted, tortured me, refused, did not do one thing. I begged for any help to get my VA, my service pay, for anything, to get something to eat. I begged that thing for food. I begged it for due process. I begged it to get me a court date so I could get a release date or get sentenced or get out of there or whatever the hell I needed to do. It had a different thing that it would taunt me with every time. This last time it was like saying, if I don't swallow medication, I'll never get out of there. What medication? What the fuck was it? Doesn't even know what it's talking about. Before that, it was, are you still trying to plead not guilty? Huh. Well, that's what you get in there. That's what it focused on before that. Before that, it was something else. And before that, it was something else. It was the only thing from the VA that showed up, and it's best friends with Tucker. The thing that puts people in torturous conditions at its Nazi camp they call Bossier Max. How dare you? Release them right now. Release all of them. With restitution, you've taken many of their homes. They need their homes back. You've taken their careers, their jobs. There is no criminal record from Louisiana. That gets all wiped away. That's all counterfeit. You are all liars. You don't do any investigation. You make it up. Go check all the minutes. Go check the minutes. Oh, are those available for mine? Or did you whitewash those? There is no such thing as adjudication. That is kidnapping. You drag people into your fake-ass circus court sessions by force in cuffs, chains around their entire body, and ankle cuffs, metal implements of torture, and then you threaten them with tasers and guns. State your name, state your name. And it doesn't matter what anybody in there says. The guy in his discount fucking Baptist choir robes, hee-hawing and giggling. It depends on what mood he's in. Whether he'll let his friend go. They're all friends, guys. They've known some of them are like, yeah, we've known each other for 50 years. I'm like, that's a racket, Vigan. And they don't seem to understand what a racket is. They asked me if I could spell racket. And then what you play with the little birdie? It was like Beavis and Butthead up there. Okay, you're dealing with people who do not have a high enough IQ to have a college education. People who, they're all using aliases, fake names. Most of them never even practiced law. And they're saying, "It's an honorable judge." And they're getting up there, their little little meat mallet, little gavel, pounding it. And it's a circus. It's absolute buffoon. Yet, you find it funny because you know it's true. That's why it's funny. For shame. So what is there to do? Now, you talked about, hello, yeah, Abercrom. Hey, Abercrom, Donald T. Finch here. You talked about the Second Amendment. Can you please, do you understand what the Second Amendment is, Donald? Okay, I'm not trying to pick on you. What about anybody else up there? What about that asshole hovering above you? Hovering above you for the State of the Union, recital. Does he know what the Second Amendment is? Okay, that means you have the duty to shoot somebody before they harm you. That's what that means. You throw that term around, we gotta protect the Second Amendment, yet you consider it a death threat for which you generate fraudulent paperwork when somebody says the Second Amendment must be adhered to. You crucify that person. Unless it's one of you. And then you're just paying lip service to it without explaining. Hello, the right to keep and bear arms? You don't think that means, what do you think bear arms is? That means shoot a motherfucker before they snatch up your family. Shoot the asshole before he abducts you. That means everybody needs a weapon. And nobody is required to have papers for themselves or their weapons that are their belongings. They're not required to have papers for anything. Where are your papers? Where are your papers? You can't ask for somebody's ID. That's their papers, you asshats. You're Nazis. You are Nazis. You can't ask for my ID anywhere. Not to buy a cigarette, you can't do that. And yet that's where you are. I don't care if it's 10 years old. It can buy cigarettes. It's able-bodied. It has the $6, right? You cannot impose limits like that. You cannot ask for papers. You cannot discriminate. You cannot say, it looks younger than 1,000,000 years old, or it looks older than 2. That is anti-constitutional. That is satanic. That is un-American. You are all Nazis. Again, this is the Holocaust, and it's you. You are the villains. Knock, knock. Honey, I'm home. That song says the virgins are trimming their wicks, not mutilating children's dicks. You must have, misheard, right? How dare you circumamputate, how dare you amputate my kids? How dare you? Every last one of you rapists are on trial. Let's just put it like that right now. Justo juez. That's me, guys. Every pediatrician is a pedophile. This is your public mast. This is your trial. Every last juvenile defender, every last CPS agent, it's going down for real. You are not allowed to lay hands on anybody else. Hello, thugs that call yourself the police. You're all murderers, and you are all hereby guilty. Next. Every last fake-ass FBI. Okay, now it's really stupid. There's no such thing. They're all just mafia people that needed an alias, and you just call them FBI. All the pretty girls are hookers. They're also slaves. They're all addicted to some form of heroin. That's a slave. All of you fake-ass judges, including the Taco Supreme, especially the Taco Supreme. Look at you, Nosferatus. You've been taking advantage of the child trafficking libertad. You've been enjoying this feeding frenzy. You're all sharks who have a penchant for virgins. You eat children, literally. Hear ye, the word is out. Satan has almost all of you. And he thinks it's really funny. C.D. Sutherland, stand up. I would not ask you to bow down, I'd ask you to stand up. Darth Chuck. You're the new puppet. It means you need to move to... Where's the Playboy Mansion? That's the actual White House. Does he get the bitches? They're all diseased. So no, abstinence only. Oh, knock knock everybody. There is no more fornication allowed. Stop any sexual contact whatsoever. Across the board, globally. Nobody's allowed to fuck anybody. That's an order. There is no more sex allowed. I just ate a $12 grilled cheese. It was deluxe. Best thing I've ever eaten in like, a couple years, yeah. what you call scripture reference that says to stone somebody, that means to shoot somebody, guys. It's just a really dumb, funny parody translation concept. To stone means to shoot, that's it. It's Second Amendment. That's your right. Who is opposing that right? Let them be public. Let them stand up and, flap their whore jaws. Or at least reveal yourself. Who stands in opposition to the Second Amendment? Go ahead. Let us know. The only way out for most of you is to take the mark. Some of you are terrified of that. Others of you already have it. Like Walters already has that mark. It's called a swastika. You mispronounce it swastika. That prevents you from getting turned into food. After all, you're made of meat. It's called not wasting the spoils. Government barbecue. It's a thing. There are people starving globally. We need this food. Abattoir? Sure, man. Feed my young